Hi there, my name's Tom, and today's video is about markets and tariffs and how this is impacting people. And Gracie is here to help. So, I'm going to start with market performance. A lot of news networks like to look at the Dow Jones Industrial Index as an indicator of the overall health of the U.S. economy. Generally, I say that's pretty bad because the Dow Jones is usually the last thing to go. It's the top 30 industrial stocks in the world. And right now, over the course of the last 30 days, they're down about 15.5%. With most of that drop happening in conjunction with Trump's last scheduled date to begin tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and, he blinked. But the markets did not recover like they did the first time he threatened tariffs and then blinked. And when I say blinked, I mean, Trump said, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to count to three. He got to two, and then he said 2.5, and then 2 3/4, and then didn't get what he wants, and said, okay, fine, we're gonna postpone it. So this time around, why didn't the markets recover? The overall New York Stock Exchange, which covers a lot more than just the Dow Jones, that's only down 2%, but that's still pretty big. And it's the steepest part of its decline began with the tariffs threats. Well, they didn't recover because nobody knows what happens next. They were thinking the first time around that maybe, things would start leveling out, cooler heads would prevail, and instead we're right back to where we were before. Creates a lot of uncertainty, especially among investors. And the stock market really does care about your feelings, especially if you're an investor. So, yeah, right now they're saying the US is a bad option. And it's because of Trump and his tariffs. All right, so then Canada's response, however, this time around was also different because they implemented their reciprocal tariffs. And then when Trump said, I changed my mind, Canada said, we didn't. And so Canadian tariffs stayed in place. And they're saying, no, you're going to actually sit down and negotiate for real now, or our tariffs are going to stay in place. And Canada has decided they're going to take on the dominant role in these negotiations. It's been roughly a week now. They still don't have any real talk between the US and Canada on this. Trump has actually been staying out of the media since he was forced to acknowledge on camera that, yeah, we may be facing a recession, but it's definitely not his fault. And, so now Canada's ratcheting up the pressure because Ontario Premier Doug Ford has put a 25% surcharge on electricity exports to the U.S. He's a conservative, by the way. The Conservative Party in Canada has united with the Liberal Party in their response to Donald Trump and their refusal to acquiesce to the demands of a bully. And so if you get your electricity in Michigan, Minnesota, or New York, you may be facing a 25% surcharge if that is Canadian electricity. Now, before somebody starts saying things about New York and liberals, I would just like to point out that the areas affected here are all deep red. Again, this is an example of Trump hurting his own base and his own followers. This isn't going to affect those big city Democrats in New York City. It'll have nothing to do with them. But those Republican voters in the North Country, Western New York, they're probably in trouble because it's an estimated $70 per month increase on their bills, and they just don't have the same economic opportunities in those rural areas that other portions of the state are known for. Uh, so let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and have a great day.